Well, good afternoon. It is the afternoon on Q101. My name is Jesse Paculat, and it is Thursday. It's Better Know Ascent Thursday. Today, we have Brad Cocca. How's it going, man?
Great. How about you?
It's going great, buddy. Bradley Cocca Classic. Just something I came up with. Did anybody ever call you that?
Oh, maybe they will now.
Maybe they will now, yeah.
Catch on the airwaves.
Let's make that a thing. See, I'm trying to get these nicknames to be a thing.
Yeah.
For Zach Zorn, for instance, I like to call him ZZ8, kind of like ZZ Top, except his number's 8. You know, kind of lame, but kind of cool.
Yeah, he's got Zorno right now. I don't know if we'll be able to remove that one.
Zorno, that's kind of like Zorro, so that's probably better.
Yeah.
You know? And how about Henry? Henry Foghorn Cleghorn. That's what I like to call him. I really want to get that over. I've been trying to get that over for a long time now. But the thing is, do you know who Foghorn Leghorn is?
No, I don't.
See, that's the problem.
That is the
Looney Tunes. He was part of Looney Tunes.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, he was a really funny Looney Tunes character, Foghorn Leghorn, so I call him Foghorn Cleghorn.
Yeah, I don't know. We might be some of the guys on our team too young to watch the Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Brad Cocca, my guest today, and you grew up in the outskirts of Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
You did manage to get to the USHL before you got to the BCHL. Any differences that you can share with us about the two leagues?
I think the BCHL definitely has a lot more skill and creativity, and the USHL was defensively more structured. They played a more defensively structured game.
I see. So the BCHL has the more exciting games, and the USHL has boring hockey. Defensive.
Yeah, you could say that. I don't know if I would, but
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're sound defensively, it might be boring for for the other guys, but for
maybe
you guys,
for the fans at BCHL, there's more scoring, so that's more exciting. You can fill seats better.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I agree. BCHL way better. You heard it from Brad Cocca. Where were you in the USHL?
I was in Youngstown, Ohio, which is about an hour out of Cleveland, I think.
Okay, so an outskirt town there, kind of comparable to Merritt?
I think they lied about how many people live there, because I never saw that many. And they said they have about 60,000 maybe, but definitely less home-like than Merritt.
I
don't really feel...
Okay, it's not as welcoming as Merritt, and Merritt's kind of a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
And as far as the fan goes, how about this? A softball question for you. Better fans?
Oh,
over in Ohio or here in Merritt?
Definitely in Merritt.
Definitely here in Merritt. He says that definitely. He didn't even miss a beat with that.
No,
Brad
you see
Cocca.
the same faces all the time, and they're out there supporting you.
Yeah, the Sens have their diehard fans, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all led by one guy, of course. That's our team fan captain, and that's Jared Dingleberry. And you've met him this year. You probably know him well by now.
I saw him at the ODR a couple of weeks back. He was out there with a couple kids, showing them the street hockey life.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he had a signature move.
The ODR, he's referring to the outdoor rink, of course.
Yeah.
Over at Central Park.
I saw a few elbows.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's kind of known for his street hockey, right?
Yeah.
Like he's known for doing stuff that you're not really allowed to do in the BCHL.
No, he's a very out of the box kind of player. Likes to throw his bot around more than most people would like, but that's just the way the old timers like that hockey.
Yeah, it's weird. He is skilled. Like, he has hands, but he doesn't use them.
No, he doesn't. He uses his hands for fighting. That's about it.
That's pretty much it. So there you go. He's getting praised. He's actually a pretty good hockey player himself, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Brad Cocca, man, he's seen him up close over at that outdoor rink, and he's played a little street hockey with Jerry Dingleberry. But you got to be careful with him.
Yeah, you never know what's coming.
So I'll ask you some hockey questions, since you are a hockey player, and it's your first time on Better Know Ascent. Favorite team?
Detroit Red Wings. At the moment, not necessarily. But growing up, I always liked them, and then the Maple Leafs.
Them first, and then the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Man, I grew up where you grew up.
Yeah.
I'm a Leafs fan.
A lot of people have looked at me the strange ways, but I don't know. My family's never really Leafs fans, and then I found Detroit Red Wings jersey in a closet when I was 6 years old, and it had my last name on it, so I thought it was my dad's, and I asked him, hey, did he play on the Red Wings? And he told me, yeah. But turns out he lied, and it was just some midget team from Thorold that he played on when he was younger.
Oh.
So
From Thorold.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But it was a Red Wings jersey, and it had your last name, your dad's last name. And
so
that's how it started.
That's how the lie started. And then I realized when I was older, there's no way this guy played in the NHL.
Well, for a little bit there, you thought your dad was a hero, though, right?
Yeah. He sparked the dream.
Favorite player?
Currently or ever?
Ever. And currently.
Steve Yzerman, and then currently Johnny Gaudreau.
So what it was about Stevie Y?
Just the way that, like, he was obviously really good, and just the way he was the captain, and he was just, like, a really respectable guy off the ice as well.
Yeah.
Kind of like a role model for anybody who looked up to him.
And one of those guys that spent his whole career in one team.
Yeah.
Current one, Johnny Gaudreau. What is it about Johnny Gaudreau's game that you love?
He's kind of took the route to the NHL that I think everybody in the BCHL would like to take, play college, and then sign pro. And he's just kind of I'd say model my playing style after him. Obviously, he's a lot more tools that I would like to gain throughout the years, but smaller guy with good hands and just really smart IQ for the game.
Yeah, smaller guy, and he's got those hands, like you said, and he's really speedy out there.
Yeah.
And that's interesting that you said that it's because his route that he took to the NHL, and it kind of influences you guys in the BCHL as there's still, a way to get there, still a way to get to the show, and it starts with getting into those colleges, and you are in to university,
Yeah.
as I was reading about, and a pretty prestigious one of that, Harvard.
Mm-hmm.
So Harvard University. And so can you tell us about that moment that you got accepted there, or
Well,
did you get offers and you accepted them?
I was on the phone with the coach. I don't think my parents were home. Apparently, my coaches called them before and told them. When they called me, I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk to my parents about it after I got an offer. And my parents are like, yeah, you're taking it. And I was like, okay. But ever since I was younger, you're always like, hey, I'd love to go to Harvard. But that's kind of like never happens. And then I've granted the opportunity, which is great. Thanks to like all my coaches and teammates that I've played with throughout the years, and especially my parents for keeping me on track.
Absolutely, man. Not too many people make it that far. So congrats to you. And what do you want to take as far as subject-wise?
I've actually thought about that a lot recently. I think I would take economics. I've been interested in sciences, but a lot of those labs and schooling would be done in the afternoon, which would be tough as a hockey player to balance that throughout your schedule. And economics and arts or business programs are usually in the morning, which would be an easier task to take on.
Well, I see. So that has a big say in what you'd like to take as far as a subject goes, is just the time of day.
And I like the stock market a lot and the business aspects of a lot of things in the world.
There you go, man. So get into high finance.
Yeah.
Brad Cocca,
Give
man.
you a
He's
few stock tips if you want.
That's right. All right. So there you go. In the future, you can ask future former Merritt Centennial Brad Cocca on stock advice.
Yep. Hopefully.
Could be coming down the hatch. All right. So first year as a member of the Merritt Centennials, and I like to do this with the Sense boys, tic-tac-toe. The scenario where you're the coach and your coaches are on the ice and it's overtime and they get the game-winning goal. Joe, Matt, and Brandon, they're all on the ice. How does that goal go in?
So I see Shawzy dumping it in, and then Joe's getting down there, and I know he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. He dangles out of the corner, fake shot, looks off Maddie, top shelf. Maddie won the draw, though, so he still gets an apple on the goal, but...
I see. Nice. So Matty wins that draw. Shawzy, he dumps it. And Joe's the guy that just grinds and finishes all alone there.
Mm-hmm.
Dangles out to the front of the net. Looks over to Matt. Makes it seem like he might pass it over, but just roofs it.
Water bottle sprays everywhere. Boys go crazy.
Water bottles it even.
Yeah.
Do you think Joe would be low-key in this situation with his cheer, or do you think that he would just break out of his shell and do something crazy?
I think he'd do something crazy, for sure.
What kind of celly?
I don't know.
Out of the box celly from Joe Martin. Let's get an image in our minds here.
I think rip his shirt off, maybe.
Oh, he does a Hulk.
Yeah.
The
he'd
Hulk
definitely do the
celebration.
Hulk.
Wow, the Hulk Hogan celebration courtesy of Joe Martin after the biggest goal in Sense history.
Oh, yeah.
And that's this week's Tic-Tac-Toe, brought to you by Brad Cocca of your Merritt Centennials. Now with hockey, too, of course, there's superstition as well. A lot of guys, they like to believe in things that they don't really understand, but they think that it ensures them a good game. Do you have any tics like that?
I don't really like anybody touching my stick. Like
Okay.
before games.
Right.
It needs to be left alone because maybe they're going to put some negative juices on it or steal my positive juices and then not use them. I don't know. I just don't like anyone touching it.
Okay, so nobody touches Brad Cocca's stick before a game.
No.
Are you pretty strict with that? Have you seen anybody trying to touch your
I'm
stick?
not, like, I don't go out of my way. Like, I don't wrap it in bubble wrap. I just kind of like it to be left by itself. I don't even like it touching my other sticks. Like, the stick that I'm using, it's alone.
That'll be on its own,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
all by itself.
yeah, and then your spare sticks can go somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't care where they go.
But the chosen one for that night has to be left alone, and nobody can put their grubby little fingers on it.
Yeah, maybe only Kim can touch it.
Okay, the equipment manager. Yeah, that makes sense. And what's the weirdest thing that you've seen? Maybe in your whole career? It doesn't have to be with the Sense, but just on any team.
I had a few guys that when they would put their equipment on, they'd have to like spin it or tap it like a certain amount of times and say they didn't do it the right way. They have to get completely undressed. Like they could put their helmet on and forget to twirl like the loop around 3 times and they have to get fully undressed.
And they have to do it all over again.
All over again.
What if there's a time crunch? Have they ever been late and
Yeah.
and the coach just said, "Hey, you don't have time. You got to get out there,"
And then they play the worst game of their lives.
because it's in their head.
Yeah. I also had a
Wow.
goalie when I was 14. Used to eat 2 hot dogs and a Big Mac for every game.
2 hot dogs and a Big Mac. And
It
that
was
was
the
his
weirdest
pregame.
thing ever, yeah.
Wow.
He's a big boy.
That was his pregame
That
meal.
was his pregame.
2 dogs and a burg.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that leads me to this, I guess. You know, we talk about pregame meals, and I did ask the guys this last year. What's your favorite cheat meal? If you know that you don't have practice or something the next day, you don't have anything to prepare for, and you can cheat a bit, what's Brad Cocca like to indulge in?
Me and my roommates like to get heart attack popcorn. We have a popcorn machine at our house, and we load it up with popcorn, butter, like lots of butter, seasoning, and just pile it in there. And then when you're done, you're just lying on the couch and you can't move.
Okay. Suicide popcorn? That's what you call
Heart
it?
attack
Heart
popcorn.
attack popcorn. Heart attack popcorn
I
is...
wouldn't say it's the healthiest choice, but
Well, that's why it's
the
a cheat meal.
That's the cheat meal.
That's right. You know, I'll tell you a trick about popcorn, too, if you ever go to the movies. But, you can obviously you can get the real butter on it when you ask for it.
Yeah,
I ask for it. And then once I do that, though, they also have that fake butter
yeah.
over by the station there. This is what I do. And you can use this trick. You can take the popcorn and you can take a straw, stick it in there, and then put it right under that little nozzle where that fake butter comes out.
Yeah.
Press that button and get it all in there.
Oh,
So
that's a good idea.
you know,
Get in the inside.
it gets into the base.
Because, yeah, when you get to the bottom, it's just
Yeah, it's all
stale
dry.
popcorn.
That gives you a butter base. Now you know.
Yep. Next thing we need is the movie theater.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a joke, Brad. See if I can make you laugh. And I'll tell you this joke. I like this one because it starts out sounding kind of iffy. Like you don't really know where it's going. It seems like it might be kind of offensive. But then it really comes around in the end. It's pretty clever. We'll see. This is how the joke goes. Palestinian fella walking around in the desert. You know, he went on a vacation. Wanted to go check out the camels or whatever. And he's walking around the desert. But he didn't prepare for this. He didn't prepare the right way. He kind of underestimated what the desert would be all about, and he got lost. You know, minutes turned into hours, and he was very parched, as you can imagine, out there in that heat and no water. And he was walking, you know, thinking his mouth was dry. Water, water. And he sees a stand over there in the distance there. So he goes up
desert?
to, yeah, he goes up to the stand, and there's a Jewish man running the stand. And he says, water, water. And the fella says, well, I'm sorry, sir. I don't have any water here. This is a tie stand. I just sell ties. That's all I have. But you know what? I know that there's an inn that way, about 2 miles that way. You go that way, you find that inn, they'll give you some water. So he says, okay. And off he goes. About 8-10 hours later, he sees the same guy on his hands and knees crawling back to the stand. His face is on fire. Water, water, I need water. I'm sorry, sir. I told you I don't serve water. This is just a tie stand. Did you go to the inn that I told you about? And he said, yeah, they wouldn't let me in without a tie.
That sucks.
It sucks.
No, that sucks, said the guy. I kind of got too emotionally involved in the story. I was like, wow, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He's burning inside.
It was just a joke, though. There
Yeah.
was never any guy.
No Palestinians were injured.
No.
No.
Humans were injured in that joke. No.
Okay. You
Some
guys should have given him a tie.
I think that's what happened after the joke was over.
Oh, okay.
But I just had to get to the joke part, the funny part, and then the real part set in. That was a really delayed laugh. I'll count that as an overtime loss. I didn't quite get what I wanted. I didn't quite get the giggle that I wanted, but I'll chalk it up as an overtime
I had
loss.
to comprehend it and then work it in my brain and then boom. And then it all came.
Talking with Brad Cocca of your Merritt Centennials, and that'll wrap up another edition of Better Know Ascent. Brad, thanks so much for coming on the show. It was great having you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.